The camera opens up. What day is it again? Off to,
Monday.
off to a strong set. July 9th, 3:30 AU. Upon Fort Wonderly. And, the camera changes and it goes to the inside of the fort where, Deborah's fixers are, going about a normal ass day. Recently, you would all have known that there's been lots of red activity and reinforcement on their side of the line. So you're all on alert and on guard for this coming offensive. I don't know. Let's see. Jamie, what are
They're
you doing?
coming.
Probably sitting like in the hangar, lounging on the foot of his walker frame with like his headphones on and flipping through a magazine at the moment. I said we're just like on like 2-minute warning.
Something like that. What kind of magazine?
Whatever you can find laying around.
Well,
Probably.
actually, there's some old, because this is a ship, and no one really gives a shit about literature in this place. There's a bunch of old like magazines, like really old ones. Some of those are 5 years old.
Sure. Yeah, so nobody. You never know when you're getting another one, so you never throw these out. It's always a duty. It's to somebody.
Especially if you're get sent on like a long range patrol. 3 months out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. No contact with anybody else. And of course,
Makes sense.
because the military gets them for free, a lot of these are actually army magazines. Titled The Blue Beret. Jamie,
Yes.
I would like you to roll me a keen investigate at a +3.
Oh, thank goodness for that +3. That will be 4 degrees of success then.
There is something deeply suspicious about this magazine.
Oh.
You look at it, and then you look up at Captain Callaghan, and then you look down at it. That's Nora on the front page.
Huh.
She's there with 2 other people you don't know at a pub. What it looks like. They're sitting they're sitting and standing right next to a piano. Nora has a pint in her hand. Big old smile on her face. And then you look up and, Nora is then Nora.
Just scowling at something,
Where did
presumably.
the years go?
Nora.
Nora's probably looking at something. Just kind of, it looks like she has a scowl, but she's just focused on something.
Nora, actually, I'd like you to roll me keen awareness.
Come on. What is this? Okay, that's 2 ones.
Oh, that's a critical success. Also, how many potential points are you at right now?
At 7. Do not tell me I just Ace Awakened from this
Wait, do you
Why does
Ace
this only
Awaken?
happen out of combat?
Do you Ace Awaken at 7 or the next one after 7?
The next one after is when the test is called for. Anyways, Nora.
That's not much
You're
better.
safe for now.
Nora,
Yes.
you have a sixth sense for when people are observing you. Honed after years of combat. It has saved your life many a time where less aware pilots and even people on, Federals out in the street have died due to the lack of realizing they are being targeted. And you notice that Jamie is looking at you weird.
Nora's eyes just kind of shift to Jamie, and then she just turns. Is there a problem, Jamie?
Jamie's like half raising the magazine, trying to hide behind it, which of course shows off what he was, the cover that he was comparing Nora to.
Nora's face just kind of like turns as she just. Oh, I see. Don't worry about that. And Nora just walks off.
Jamie just breathes a sigh of relief and probably like tries to flip to the like inside page, like where the hell is this photo taken and when? Checking the like date of production on this.
325. It looks like somewhere in the belt. Jeanne, do you want to see all this? Do you want to be in the hangar?
Sure, but she's probably more so getting her Bradbury 2 to be more in line with her, I guess. Basically making getting adjusted to it and doing a final check. It's the same machine as her Brady Hunt, but it's been, tuned differently. It's got new gizmos and doodads and knickknacks on it.
It turns out when you make a machine 30 years later, you learn some things about how to make walker frames in that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling about the Bradbury 2?
It's not bad. I mean, this is what Courage has been piloting, and it makes sense why Courage managed to get so become an ace essentially with this machine, because this is like a newer model, obviously. So there's the performance is very, very obviously way better to some degree. Feels new.
It has that new walker frame smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they put it in. They just for her. They're like, we changed out the cockpit, factory new. It's even got the smell back. Wow.
The shot sort of shifts focus to the background for a moment. As like I assume somewhat across the hangar, we see Captain Callaghan's Brady Hunt with a crane holding a cannon up to one shoulder as are we in low gravity or zero gravity or full gravity?
Low.
As Emet hangs from the cannon with his hands stuffed into the guts of a like computer data sort of, it's a wiring place, the place where the wiring goes. I'm lacking for the word for what that particular thing is called, but
Circuit
that's
board?
what he's doing. Kinda, yeah. He's wiring up this new weapon.
Insert that image of the guy standing in front of the mess of wires.
The spaghetti?
You know what? Wait. Let me see if
There's
I can
a
find it.
I think that he's got like his tongue sticking out a little bit as he does a little bit of soldering. All right, I think that's the last data bus.
Good work, sir.
I think all the fastening bolts should be on safely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, move the crane away. And Emmett is going to sort of like unhook his legs from the cannon and like push off over to where Nora's at.
I see. You go to Nora, and where is she?
Nora would have tried basically after walking away from JB, she would have like went back to the walker frame, so she would have been approaching them.
Alrighty.
Approaching whom?
Just the walker frame.
Yeah. So I guess Emmett sort of like meets you sort of as you're approaching. All right, I think that's just about everything put to your specifications. A little bit hard finding an old walker frame cannon, but I guess in an old fort like this, they've got lots and lots of older equipment we wouldn't be able to get access to if it was just the ship.
She looks up at it. Seems you've done well. Thank you.
Well, you learn a few things. You learn a few things. He doesn't finish. He decides not to finish that thought.
Oh.
It shouldn't impact your maneuverability much at all. It's braced pretty well on there.
That's good. I wouldn't want to get really any slower than I already am.
Just be careful. We didn't have time to, or really space, to install any kind of auto-loading mechanism, or at least not a very good one. So the reload time is going to be fairly hefty.
It'll just make up for when the rifle is taking time. That's all.
All right. Let me know if you need anything else. Jamie still hasn't told me if he wants anything on his Brady hunt, but, well, I guess that's him, isn't it?
I think Jamie will come around to figuring out what they want, if they want anything.
Well, I guess I'll find out then. And he sort of gives a little salute and pushes off to go keep floating through the hangar.
And then Nora will just look up at the suit.
You see your walker frame, and, on the shoulder, there's an attached 150 millimeter walker frame cannon. There's a bunch of exposed wires that, run into the shoulder, typically where, the armor pieces. And it's most likely hook up to give it the correct signal to, fire the gun. Because, the gun exists independently of the walker frame.
Right. Nora's going to be thinking about, maybe I should paint something on this cannon. And then we'll get to doing that.
Oh, like what?
I have some words I'll put on there, but I'll have to think about them.
An idea for later, perhaps.
Yes.
Philippe.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
No particular strong emotions either way.
I see. I do have some news, though.
Yes.
You have received another letter from Zoifiya.
Well, he'll cut it open and read it over.
Tired, if you would, please.
Oh no, I have to. Okay.
You wrote it, so.
Get a role play in this role playing game? That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
I hate role playing in my role playing game. Oh, I hate.
Distorting like Bochi the Rock.
Slasai kicks rock.
Philippe. It has been too long. We've never missed correspondence since academia, and rarely had we ever before. It seems our lottery came up, no? Over 1 million across this front alone, and yet our meeting met itself a miracle. I wish he'd bought a scratcher instead of fighting this war. I sincerely doubt either of us would have much use for it as Prince of Terra. I hope I've caused no issue for you. In the same vein, I hope you receive this at all. This is far from my first attempt at writing, and the next portion is inked over. I figured it best to write without thought. to not, like I've before, stress over every detail, to just pour my own heart into a page I hardly know will be cared for to the one on the other end. I hardly remember your face. For so many years you were a page, and I preferred that. I truly did. The memory of your friend upon a page. You meant so much to me, much more than I ever had to you, and I can't. Once again, the next portion is inked over. I cannot blame you. But you're not implacable. Implacable. You're not the stoic upon sentence I dreamed. You're human, just as I, and in that relevance my own fantasies shattered. Fantasies of a sunrise after the final flag. Why are we here, fighting for a cause neither of us deserve to, for people who either celebrate or despise us? I want to be a child again, in France, my mother dotting on me as the other children play the fields, tending my wounds as your wooden sword has bruised my hand, her touch all to myself, to no one else, just to me, as any mother's attention should be, any real mother, the only thing she could never really be. We find ourselves upon the rotting corpse of a giant, corrupting my senses, its stench staining my nostril. I do not want to see the consequences of its death. I do not want to live as gnats fighting over molded feces. Don't let me be a footnote in your story. I don't want to be forgotten. I never got to see her face. We never got to return home. Zoifiya.
You close the letter, Philippe.
Yeah, he'll do so. He puts it away.
Any thoughts?
He kind of just lets out a, what the fuck?
Not exactly what you were expecting.
It's a little confusing.
Oh, what about it specifically is so confusing?
Well, voice in Philippe's head, you heard it. You heard the internal narrator that sounded like Zoifiya.
Philippe is now aware he's an RPG character?
Are you forgetting I always call out to God or ask what the internal voices say?
Like it's Disco Elysium?
Exactly. I'm a depressed Frenchman. It works.
But are you an alcoholic?
Not yet.
We can fix that.
We can work
We
on
have
it.
time.
We have the resource. We can rebuild him.
We have Nora.
We can rebuild him. Drunker, more depressed, highly
More
functional.
French. But no, and all jokes aside, Philippe just frankly does not know how to process that right now. He's a little confused by it. It's certainly a different tone and letter. So he just puts it aside and puts it away in the filing cabinet to be sorted later.
I see. Speaking of filing cabinets, Fuyuki,
That's me.
you open up the filing cabinet to bring out on number form an incident report. One of your mechanics smashed their hands while working on one of the walker frames.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did it look like it was intentional or just, an actual accident?
It looked like an accident.
Okay. If no one's filing any degree of complaint, what's the standard procedure for how to deal with such things?
Well, someone did break their hand, so you do, in fact, have to write a report about it.
Oh, okay. Well then, I'll sort of skim through the cabinet to see if there's like a similar report that has been written in the past that I can kind of like see the framework for how these are supposed to be worded. Fuyuki has never really done this before. So he's very much like looking for some earlier forms to sort of guide what he needs to write here because he has no fucking clue.
Yep, there's, no guidelines because, the IVA assumes you know how to do this.
I think he will grab from the cabinet probably one of like Yasuo's earlier forms on a similar topic and just kind of skim over the wording and not copy it, but like, sort of use it as a framework for how he writes the incident report. Despite probably doing things that he'd really otherwise rather not be doing, he looks in a pretty good mood.
Oh, is the promotion doing that for you?
Oh, it's a lot of things doing that for him. Let's see. Let's see. It's the promotion. Do I know about my new machine? Has that been told to me yet?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's the promotion. I just got a new walker frame, a new advanced walker frame. That I get to paint in my own ace color scheme because I'm an ace now. That's another thing that's doing it for me. I'm a senior lieutenant. That's the promotion, and I'm in charge. So that's great. And we also had what I consider to be quite the victory in Tentacle Colony. So, all things considered, Fuyuki's having a good day.
I see. Looking at Jozsua's earlier forms, Quix, how would you write an incident report?
It's a form. It tells you what to fill out, but the gist of it is you describe in great detail what happened, like physically what happened, how like the principles by which, like, the sequence of events of the injury, the details of the injury, how the injury was treated, and then how this type of occupational injury can be avoided in the future.
So yeah, probably a pretty straightforward thing. Not really any flowery language. Not like the kind of reflection he would write in his diary or something. Just, to the point.
I see. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about going into the summer offensive of, 330 down a pilot?
Who are we down?
Hordon has the flu.
Fuck.
And spinal compression.
No, I almost said my best man, but I'm not getting married.
Yet.
And so who would marry me? No, I'm not ready for the Fuyuki dating simulator plot. Who would be his valid love interests here?
Who said anything about love?
Yeah, marriage.
We were talking about marriage.
Okay, fair. Good point. Fuyuki friend the sim. No, that was what happened with Patch. I can't make an asexual character twice. Everyone would kill me. People would start to suspect certain things about the player. Anyway, Fuyuki is, if there's anything that's kind of bringing down his good mood, it's that. It's knowing that we're down a pilot. And especially, like, someone who he considers to have his back in most combat scenarios. The person who he would pick as his wingman.
You're just allowed to pick him as your wingman. You know that, right? You are in charge.
Well, yeah, I know. The person who I would pick as a wingman, who I have picked as my wingman, and then my wingman had the flu, so, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Do we have a replacement?
No. You know, there
Great.
are many things that are great about the IVA. It's very flexible. The Jovians will give you every material support you can ask for. The one thing they cannot provide a lot of is foreign volunteers. It's the biggest limitation on the institution. Remember
All right,
what
I got one
Rassivant
more. Oh.
said to you last episode? You and Horton? You are in fact more valuable to the IVA than the walker frame you pilot. Just remember that.
All right. So I got one more. I got one more plan here. Due to the fact that we are down a pilot and that we are on this offensive, could I hypothetically like scheme with one of the other heads of Rafa or like Markovic or something to not necessarily put more people in under my command, but since we're kind of down strength, have some people covering like both of our areas. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but like,
well, you know someone who might know how that works? Who's actually very intimately familiar with this sort of thing?
probably Jozsua.
Yeah, your DepCom.
Yeah, and there's a reason why I want Jozsua to be my DepCom, because again, Fuyuki's in a good mood. But he is kind of pushing down the fact that he does not know how to do this. So Fuyuki will close his filing cabinet, sort of stack together all the papers, and make his way to wherever Jozsua is.
Where is Jozsua?
He's having some men's mental health in his bedroom.
He's having the concept of mental health?
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's got left.
He's like mind health 2, I think. It's
Oh
not
dear.
yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Jozsua, you hear a knock on the door.
He answers it. His uniform blouse is like unbuttoned. He's just in like he's in an undershirt beneath it, and he's like, "Oh,
Hi.
hello, comrade."
Hello, comrade. I had a couple of questions for you actually, considering Hordon's down with the flu and we're heading up on a major offensive and we've kind of just had a big hole blown in our line given that we're down a pilot. Could we talk for a moment? I guess.
He just sort of like he takes a deep breath, starts buttoning up his blouse, closes his eyes, and then turns around and drifts back into his stateroom.
Fuyuki will enter, sort of stand across the room from him, trying to kind of make it look casual. Okay, look. I'm gonna be honest with you. He just kind of sighs, runs a hand through his hair for a second. I don't really know how to do this.
How to run a
Be in
Rafa?
charge. Yeah. They don't exactly cover that part in training in either the NLF or the IVA, to be honest. That's the one bit of a blind spot I have, and, I feel like I have a decent understanding of how to keep us together on the battlefield, but as far as all of the back-end logistics stuff, and hell, even some of the battlefield cohesion, I could really use some help.
What's getting you? What's the issue?
All right. First issue. Hordon is out with the flu. Unfortunate, but we're coming up on an offensive, so we're down on manpower while they presumably are not. My potential solution, I guess, is we cooperate with one of the other Rafa to potentially have more manpower on our side of the field.
He just sort of closes his eyes and shakes his head. No, that would put one of the other Rafas out of action. You've got to pull a supernumerary down from the squadron or from the regiment.
He blinks. Oh, what?
An officer without a station, a loose officer.
I see.
They keep extras for things like this. They're usually in desk jobs, but they're trained and rated pilots.
That'll work. Is there like a paper I'm supposed to fill out or like someone I'm supposed to call?
Start with Markovic. Oh, well, he's like, well, you could start with Markovic, but that would be too slow. You need to talk to the Deprier at Regiment.
Do I know that guy's name?
We would know his name.
Okay, because Vincent don't remember.
No, we never named him. He's the person who's in. He's just a mid-level officer in charge of personnel and assignments.
Let's see.
He can find someone who's busy pushing papers that is perfectly flight rated that can put us in our Rafa for the day.
All right. That sounds like a good plan. Once I figure that out, there's another, I guess, conversation I'd like to have and pull in our temporary pilot, should I be able to secure one, as well as Zoifiya, to sort of work out how best we can combine our talents on the battlefield, I suppose.
Yeah, you mean like coming up with a game plan?
Pretty much. I mean, let's be honest, there's really no point in me hanging back. I'm gonna have to be out there. And the new machine I just got, I mean, it's practically tuned for the kind of stuff that I do. The problem is, or I guess what could make this stronger is if I had, covering fire support, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I charge in and it doesn't immediately cause all of us to fall into disarray.
Yeah, with Hordon's usually your wingman for that kind of thing, isn't he? He sort of scratches it. He sort of scratches his face, an uncharacteristic 3 days of scruff on it. Well, do you want Zoifiya or I to go with you? Because the new guy should stay back with whichever one of us you don't pick.
He kind of like freezes for a second, didn't consider that like that would have to be a thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could ask both of you what you feel more comfortable with. I'd be.
He raised his hand, Fuyuki. You got to get comfortable telling people what to do. That's most of what the job is.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess my concern is putting you in a position that you're not. I don't want to say not good at, because that sounds rude, but not optimized for, maybe, and then I get people killed.
You've known me for a while now. You've got a sense of that. You already know that.
Do I?
I think you know. We've known each other for like most of a year at this point. Been in, 7 or 8 combat sorties by now? It's the type of thing you don't often know you know it until, there it is.
I suppose, I guess, contrary to the general culture of this army, I suppose I am a rather solitary individual when it comes to thinking how exactly I intend to attack a target. Not that I'm not considering what other people on the field are doing, but it's a bit of a perspective shift for me, I guess.
In some ways it is, but in most ways it isn't. you're already doing what you're gonna do. Think of it this way: it's like commanding a Rafa. You're just commanding one big walker frame. They're all extensions of the whole. You need to have in mind what everyone's doing, but it's really more of an art than a science.
That makes sense. Kind of like puts his hand on his chin, the thinking pose. I suppose I could have. If we have a new guy in the back, then I suppose I could have Zoifiya come with me, and then you could stay in the back to support whoever our loose individual is, and then the two of you could give us covering fire. And then if Zoifiya wants to hang back a bit and not literally be in the furball, that's fine. I can manage, but I just need someone watching my back.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And he gives Jozsua a thumbs up. Just, Zoifiya respects you, and I see no reason why our hypothetical temporary new guy wouldn't respect you. So he just kind of looks down. I know that it comes down to orders and telling people what to do and rank of command and structure and all that, but should something happen and I'm about to do something really stupid that'll get people killed, don't just let me do that.
And he just sort of shrugs his shoulders. That's a deputy's job.
Good to hear. And he has sort of a relieved look on his face. I think we can pull this off. I mean, after all, we're not fighting the whole war on our own. We just have to hold our line.
I mean, Baker's Point isn't going to be, this isn't going to be a cakewalk, but,
No, I don't think so.
Per your briefing yesterday, in 3 hours or so, you are the IVA First Corps and Second Corps, which has been shifted over to specifically this part of the line, is to fix them at Baker's Point and attempt to envelop them. So it really is all just attack, attack, attack.
Gotcha. I mean, that's what I'm good at.
Don't siege it, just take.
If you throw everything at it, eventually one point will destabilize, and you throw everything into that. Because you have plenty of Cronian Red Army and popular army forces ready to surge into any opening you make.
Yeah, as per the briefing, Fuyuki is thankfully, and I was, had this been a defense mission, maybe there'd be problems. But Fuyuki is good at attack, so that's good. All right. So I think confident in his words shared with Jozsua, Fuyuki's gonna go find the Dep Rear.
You go up to Regiment and you find Major Clark, Regimental Dep Rear.
Gotcha. Hello, Major.
He looks up from his typewriter. Can I help you, Comrade Lieutenant?
Yes. Our Rafa is down a pilot, and I would like to request a loose officer to be transferred temporarily to our Rafa to make up for the lost manpower.
I'll see what I have. And then he, searches in his desk for a list. Brings out a piece of paper. You should have brought this up yesterday. It's going to be a rush. Let's see. We have a warrant officer, Carranza.
All right. That's better than nothing?
I'll try to make some calls to see if we can get him over here, but he brings up his hand. You really should have brought this up hours ago, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry. I just assumed control of my Rafa, so I am figuring things out on the fly a bit. I will be more on top of things next time.
You better be, Lieutenant.
Thank you, nonetheless.
Well, if you excuse me.
Yep. He just sort of like, he was like just standing there waiting to see if he had anything else like to say to him. He doesn't really know how this is supposed to go. He's never seen anybody do this.
And I have a question. What is Zoifiya doing?
She'd be checking her walker frame before the battle.
I see. How are you feeling about about all this?
A bit better before Hordon got the flu. And knowing that they're going to be down a man, her head's fuzzy. And honestly, that's partially not even because of the battle.
I see. Yeah.
Oh no, then never mind.
Where are you at? Because you're about to get a Fuyuki showing up.
So as Zoifiya would probably position herself just like sort of, after doing another sim, just like throw her helmet off back into the seat and start getting down.
As you start climbing down, you see Fuyuki there, like standing, smiling up at you, and he gives you a wave.
She gives a half wave. Aren't we supposed to be on emergency?
Yeah, but we also need to figure out how we're gonna deal with the no Hordon situation. I have a plan, but I'd rather talk about it before we're, in the thick of it, if you'll hear me out.
You have a plan. Is Jozsua aware of it yet?
Yeah, I just talked to him.
What's the flight looking like after the change in position? I imagine Joshua's no longer my squad mate.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how exactly to arrange all of that. Basically, if he like crosses his fingers for a second, if the major comes through for me, we should have another pilot. I called in a super something is what Yozsua said. An officer who just does paperwork, but like also knows how to pilot. Yeah, one of those.
You're
You
a
good?
natural. You're a natural.
Yeah, I am. I'm great at this. I don't know what you expected.
Oh god, we put a 17-year-old in charge.
Yeah, you put a 17-year-old in charge. I don't know what you expected. Fuyuki's like, so.
Not to rain on your parade, Fuyuki.
Mm-hmm.
But you are, in fact, responsible for that.
I know. I'll figure it out. It'll be okay. So, Fuyuki will, just, sort of look over to Zoifiya and, say, so, the plan here, I think, is, this plan theoretically works a lot better if Hordon is also here, but we're gonna have to tweak it a little bit since he isn't. So, assuming that the guy they send us, isn't also like an up close and personal guy, because then I guess that might change things. Alright, so I mean, let's be honest, I do my best work when I am right up in the enemy's face. Same with Hordon. So, in my mind, it makes the most sense if the two of us go in forward, and then you and Jozsua are able to provide us, overwatch, fire support, make sure we don't get shot in the back, that kind of thing, right? I think that sounds reasonable. The problem is I'm not gonna have Hordon as my wingman today. So I'm gonna need somebody up with me to make sure I don't get shot in the back. Now, like I said, our new temporary friend might end up being just as insane as Hordon and I are, which, that's great. But if that's not the case, he's aware that he is giving an order, but, like, he's still being kind of awkward about it, like he's asking someone to do something they probably really don't want to do. For this offensive, position speaking, I think it would work out in our favor if Jozsua stayed with New Guy and gave us fire support, and you came in with me as my wingman.
As fire support, you say?
That's probably not the right term. I meant, like, if I'm, like, more in front and they're in back trying to make sure I don't, like, die.
Very technical of you, Lieutenant.
He just kind of sighs.
Yes, I can cover you, Fuyuki.
Okay. I mean, again, I guess I'm not technically supposed to say this, but I am open to suggestions. But it's gonna do none of us any good. We're on the offensive. It's gonna do none of us any good if I hang back.
Zoifiya is like, I don't know how to say, but she is mentally dealing with I want to be an asshole because of yesterday, but also he's 17. And so
This aggravating child.
This child that I hate.
this child that I hate,
Kick the baby.
Kick the baby. Where's
Don't
the baby?
kick the baby.
Kick the baby. Zoifiya, I mean, the situation's going to change on the battlefield at all times. There's going to be situations where you may not be able to charge in, as you say. What if we're outnumbered? What if we have defenses? What if we're in an asteroid field? What if we're near a colony?
Well, then we adapt accordingly. I can't exactly plan ahead for all of those things, but
Somebody with an education could.
The smile and, like, cheerful demeanor snaps away. It's like he blinks and it's gone. He looks not, like, super angry, but still pretty upset, and glares at her and says, I do have an education. and I am capable of doing this. You might think that I don't take these things seriously, but I do. It's not just a game to me. I know that. I also know that I'm a little out of my depth. But you know what? I'm gonna do my best. And if you have anything to say about it, we can have a conversation about it. I'm open to that. But I'm not gonna let you treat me like a child.
Zoifiya,
That aside,
Zoifiya, what is the look on your face after Fuyuki has said all of this?
She almost sympathy, like almost regret, sympathy, and then back to that sort of like, sort of stern bitchiness. Like after she realized that like her expression is noticeable.
I see.
I'll have your back, Lieutenant. That was never in question.
The scene cuts. And it comes back to Hordon.
Horn's in a hospital gown and has just finished one of those lovely ice pops that they give you. Ones with electrolytes.
I see, I see.
Oh yeah, I'm sick.
You gotta pinch your nose.
Yeah, there we go.
Make sure you all sound very nasally. Well, how are you feeling the fact that you're out of commission with all this?
I was pretty pissed until they gave me that electrolyte ice pop. That really the spot. Horton's tried to get up several times because, well, he figures that he needs to be isolated so that he can't get anyone else sick on the ship. That's a big issue. And what's more isolated than the inside of his walker frame? But then people started talking about efficiency of piloting, cognitive scores, and all kinds of other stuff that went over his head. So he laid back in bed. Do we have TVs? Or is it reading?
There's a radio on. Or a record player, you don't know which.
I would say Horton's most likely listening to the any news station on the front.
I see. Well, going by what happened, what they said yesterday, today is the day.
Well, that's a good point. There's always a chance for one more sneak out attack, aren't you right?
What was that?
But you were saying that yesterday was, all the talk up to it, but today's the day.
Mm-hmm.
And if Hordon was going to attempt to make a break for it, get to his walker frame, would now be the day?
The good doctors might have a word about that.
Can they stop 200 pounds of muscle?
Maybe 5 of them.
Is that where the nurse comes in that's got the super tight shirt on and is about my size? And he was hired entirely to subdue unruly patients?
What do you mean hired? Volunteered.
Volunteered, yeah, sorry. Wrong nomenclature.
Former fleet rifle just folds you like a pancake.
Screaming and hollering till the big needle gets popped out.
Anyways, Horton, You hear steps near your con.
Am I in an enclosed environment, or are they just supposed to distance?
You're just supposed to distance. Remember, this is the 80s. You have the flu, not some weird virus from the future.
I think I would say it's very responsible for other pilots about to go to a fight to not be physically blockaded from me, but I'll allow it for the emotional support.
You look up and you see Runt with a face mask on. Well, Little John, you look like shit.
I am shit. Runt,
I'll make sure to get enough for the both of us.
I was just thinking you drape a sheet over me, pretend I'm dead, and push me out towards the hangar.
And risk you
They'll
getting
never
hurt,
know.
Horton?
Oh, not our job. We signed up for it. To get hurt.
Yes, but think of my poor heart.
Got the heart of a racehorse, Runt.
Oh yeah, that is
I
true.
heard that thing. I was about to say, we were next to each other in the medical intake. Scared the doctor.
He smiles. No, it's just something Rasivin wanted me to check in on. Make sure you weren't feeling too bad on missing out on the opening show.
Oh, I'm pissed. First I get shot down, then we get a big showdown, and I'm sick for it? Gotta be kidding me.
Well, get some good sleep and you should be there for the rest of the offensive.
Just, I'm waiting for me to get back to the hangar after I'm better, and I'm gonna find out that my walker frame's missing like an important part, and it can't fly anymore, and I'm gonna have to miss that sortie too.
I thought you were about to say the war's over. We won. We did it.
No, that would be good. I could actually get some peace. Start a farm.
Oh, you want to stay here?
Or a casino.
So,
Yeah, I think I'm more of a casino type.
I don't think the communards are gonna, legalize gambling.
Okay. Do they have bars?
Yeah, they have bars.
Sweet. I'll open a bar. And there definitely won't be gambling in the basement.
Well, the cops won't hear it from me.
That's why you're rolling, Runt.
The realest there ever was.
It sucks I can't fist bump you right now.
Yeah, it would be a little bit of a bad idea. Hey, how about this, Horton?
Uh-huh.
Want to make a bet?
Yeah?
If you can shoot down more walker frames than I do out there, you have one unlimited favor from yours truly. Whatever you need.
On my next sortie or just in general? Because I think I can beat you in general.
Your next sortie specifically.
Okay. I can try. I have a pretty bad track record so far. I think I have almost taken down 2 walker frames. Almost taken down 1 ship or space fighter. I kind of fucked everything else up. I'll take you up on it. Worst case, wait, what happens when I lose? Favor from yours truly? Or moi truly?
I already know what I want the favor to be.
Oh, God. What you got?
I want you to help me paint my walker frame.
You planning on being an ace?
What do you mean, planning? I have 11 victories, Hordon.
Front, how come you don't gloat?
Me? What do I have to be proud of?
I don't know. My only other examples of aces are two very showboaty, gloaty individuals who are very much high on their own supply right now.
What, should I start dancing to EDM? Or maybe I should carry around a sword or something.
Front, I love satire. That's going to be my favor.
What does that even mean?
Well, you start wearing a sword,
Should it be a cardboard
and you
one?
start dancing to EDM. They're going to be so mad. As if they even notice. Which should be even funnier.
Maybe I can ask for some bell bottoms while I'm at it.
Oh, yeah. What color are you thinking?
Oh, black and white. Horton. You know specifically black and white means one thing. As a belter, you know it means only one thing.
What does it mean?
The Black Mark of Ceres. You know, the famous ghost story?
Oh. He wants to be a legend.
Although, given the tone of the conversation, that might just be a joke.
Well, the good news is, Ron, I think those are some of the most unused paint colors in the entire fleet, so I think you're going to be good.
Well, he opens his mouth and then you hear over the intercom, all hands, man your battle stations. And then
I give him a sharp salute.
he returns it. I'll see you when I get back.
We're going to run.
The camera cuts to you, Emet.
What am I up to?
I don't know. You had a scene idea that you put in the text channel.
All right.
Get the details.
I have a question. What are the blue simulators like? Are they simulators that run in a Walker Frame's cockpit, or is it a separate thing?
Well, there's both. It's just, do you want the full body experience?
Yeah.
Because the ones in down in the actual sim room will throw you around a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a thing that Emmett has been doing, presumably for a little bit since, you know, Blue Team got done with their R&R. But I think that he's been researching the types of walker frames and any notable, particularly things that he thinks he's likely to be fighting in the near future, and has been studying their blueprints and fighting them in sims in order to try to gain an understanding of how to best fight them.
I see. Let's see. Tact to investigate, please.
Could I make a case for tact engineering?
No, you may not.
All right.
Because
Because my dice.
you have the intelligence reports on the performance of these things. Those are relatively known quantities.
Hmm. Tact engine. No, tact investigate
I'm really
is.
more interested in your ability to intuit at advantage.
All right, that is target total of 4, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What walker frame would you like to realize something about?
He's fought so far, I believe, um, plenty of Yuis, and trying to remember. So he's fought Yuis and Galgaloo. That's a little bit of a mouthful. Yuis and Galgaloos before. Um, I think what he's studying right now is the next step up the ladder, so to speak.
Well, there's two options. There's the Jovian 5th gen, the down, or as you know it in its reporting name, the Wyvern, or the transformable walker frame, the Zhivkov.
Oh, that's a hard decision. Um, which one is going to be high? Which one's going to be low? I'm going to roll a die.
Dan's low.
Dan's low. 3. That's a Dan.
So, the biggest weakness you're realizing with the Dan is because it is the very, very first 5th gen. All of your weapons are designed specifically to defeat it.
Hmm.
And the Bradbury, too, is largely comparable to it. And that was the Dan's a 5th gen. You are a 6th gen. If you go into this as a pure contest of strength, it should favor you in any category,
Right.
really.
Having finishing closing down the terminal built into whatever wall he's near. I think the next thing we see is like a little montage of him training in the simulator, practicing fighting Dans and Zhivkovs.
I see. Nora, what are you doing?
Nora is just in her walker frame, just reading over any of the battle information that we're supposed to be getting.
So far as you can tell, Nora, the forces arrayed against you all around Baker's Point is the entirety of the IVA. They really want this colony. And it is your job to not let them have it.
For me?
Well, you're on the part of the line to defend Baker's Point.
Older Nora would have had a thrill for this.
Yeah, but now you're older and more divorced, so...
More divorced?
A surprisingly important character detail that's only increased in time.
It's so true. Yeah, Nora's just trying to think about the fact that why is that magazine still in circulation?
It's not. They just got it.
God, you just got it? That makes it worse.
Speaking of that magazine, Jamie, how are you feeling?
Um, probably, you know, nervous about we're waiting for the hammer to fall. Like we knew that this was coming, but it's gonna be rough when it finally falls. With the whole swarm of the IVA out there. Assuming Jamie hasn't like wandered away from the hangar, he's probably just like sitting in his cockpit running Sims. Probably taking the advice of like trying to learn how to pop shield generators or shield emitters.
I see.
Yeah, not wandering very far from his walker frame, and probably hasn't for like, well, hours now. I assume we're on call, but he's probably spending even more time than is required because that's how he approaches problems is over preparation.
I see. I see. Well, Jamie, at the front door of your walker frame, you see side saddle. Lace,
Yeah.
he says. You gotta chill out.
That doesn't really seem to be my speed, to be honest with you. Side saddle.
Well, Jamie, I'm not really here to argue with you. I'm here to inform you. You need to chill out. You're freaking out, Jock, with all this pacing around you're doing.
I didn't think anything would get her in a flap, to be honest.
Oh, Lace, Shock's a more kind of a live in the moment person. Clay doesn't really do long term thinking.
And that seems like an attitude that has its own fair set of downsides to it.
Not really. What the? Who the hell's honking outside the doors? Anyways. Side Saddle looks at you, says, Lace, like, what's the worst that can happen? You die?
Well, yes, but also if I die, then that leaves a shorter hand, which means it's more likely someone else does.
Well, think about it like this, Lace.
So
If you're dead, it's not really your problem anymore. So what the fuck does it matter?
I'd rather not leave further problems for other people.
Well, that's not going to be really your problem then, at that point. And, if you freak out Chalk, what's going to happen with second flight? If you're going to be crazy, then he points over to, like, where Courage is, sharpening her sword. Could you at least do it in a way that boosts morale?
Uh, just kind of gets a blank look on his face. Not sure if I really was interested in engaging in performative insanity.
What are you talking about? You're in the Federal Armed Forces. That's what we do. That's why, hell, that's why I'm fucking here.
Huh. Weaver's probably just never like put two and two together with this. I mean, yeah, we all have to be nuts to be here, but I don't know if being nuts is actually going to make us more effective.
I don't know. It's working out for me so far.
You do seem to have a knack for it. I would argue that you're better at being crazy on account of experience at it at this point.
He shrugged his shoulders. All part of the job.
Right. I mean, you don't think that there's any benefit in trying to eke out the last, you know, measure of practice or anything before whatever the hell hits the fan hits the fan?
Not really. What happens, happens. And if you die, well, didn't really help anyway, so shrugs his shoulders.
Yeah. Well, fine. I guess you win this round. He'll like punch the buttons to like shut down the simulator program on his Warcream. What do you suggest to kill the time? Because I think I'll just go nuts if I don't do anything.
Well, he like just rifles through his pockets. I have these. And you see in a plastic bag 2 brownies.
We'll just sigh. Well, I guess.
He hands you one.
Well, thanks. And he'll like do a cheers with the.
With the weed brownie?
Here's the thing: Weaver would not have suspected that being a thing, and that'll be funny.
Weaver.
God.
I would
Because
like
Weaver's the biggest square in the universe.
poise and composure at a -3.
Boy. Oh no! Why with a -3? I failed by 1.
It's really good weed.
More like, why does this taste like ass? But again, not his. Guarantee Weaver's never tried that before.
I don't think Weaver's done anything.
No, again, the biggest square in the Federation. So he'll like grimace at it, but then not say anything because it's a nice gesture, I guess. You don't somebody like that.
Weaver,
Mm-hmm.
regain D2 mind health and take away 1 point of body.
All right.
It, something feels off, Lace, but you can't put your the words escape you. Your finger goes over your mental dictionary, and it just can't find the word to describe this just right.
Huh. I mean, at this point, he'll just probably put it down to nerves.
I see. Although one thing you can notice when you say that, you notice you don't feel as anxious.
This is a very strange day for Weaver, I suspect.
And it's about to get stranger as you hear, the brigadier on the intercom say, all hands, general quarters. This is not a drill. Man your battle stations. And then the eye catch plays.